Well, this is it. The end of Season 1. Well, in about 3 races from now anyway it will be. It is, the final 3 races here in the Group 3 Championship to decide the Challenge Series Season 1 champion. And quick rundown of the point situation midway through the championship. We have Nico leading points at a whopping 55. For reference, after 3 races, the most you could have is 60, so she's only missed 5 points. And then it's a tie for second at 48 between myself and Kotori. Jack Scarborough's third at 47, and it's Nozomi at 43, Thrasher at 38, Umi 37. Tie for 8th at 33 points between Dominic DePrisco and Barbara Page. Hikari and Carly Watts also tied for 10th, 1 points. Kagasa is 12th at 27, and it's Nituri at 25, Fabian at 24. A tie for 15th in points between Eric Wojciechowski and Kevin Bergstrom. They both sit at 23. Ivan Svodakov sits on 21 points. Ryan Wolf at 17. Francesca Fedonzi at a mere 14. And last in points, Sigfrid Brandt at 12. Be over double digits already is surprising, considering there have been some championships where there's been at least one driver who never did. So it's not uncompetitive, but there are a couple of drivers that I just kind of look at and think, you're probably not winning this championship. I don't think Sigfrid Brandt is winning this championship, nor do I really think Fedonzi or Ryan Wolf are. They are very far back. They're almost, well, Ryan Wolf is almost, and then Francesca and Siegfried are more than 2 races worth of points behind Nico in the points lead. They would need to win the next 2 races just to even have a chance of being anywhere close to Nico, and that's assuming she doesn't really finish well, which, considering her finishes so far 1st, 3rd, 4th, doesn't seem too likely that she will just have a collapse. So, but I mean, stranger things have happened in motorsports, so we'll just head into the 4th event and see if stranger things do happen. Not to be confused with the Netflix series. Alright, and the first race of the second half is green. Race 4 comes to you from Daytona for another 10-lap event. And the starting grid gods have decided that Nico needs to be taken down a notch, and she starts last. Thus, she is the focus car of this event. And she's nearly getting turned by Kevin Bergstrom there. It's not too hard to tell when that skyline has shifted, because it loses like 3/4 of a second when it does. Nico continues to be obstructed by her fellow Toyota driver, even if it's not the same Toyota model. You just saw Yazawa give Fidel the get the hell out of my face signal lights there, because I don't know. I mean, I think what happens is she thinks that he held her up a bunch on this first lap, and that A, caused her to nearly get dump and run by Kevin Bergstrom going through turns 2 and 3. But also cost her a pretty decent chunk of time trying to get past him, you know, beyond that point. She was boxed in behind him for the last hairpin before, or I think it'd be what, turn 6? And even 7 tiny bit. Now she is unchained and is already nearly in the top 10. And just like that, it looks like she may be in the top 10. Basher comes back with a good exit on the outside lane, so they're going to be too wide heading through this kink, which is always terrifying. Yeah, Nico, too eager to turn in, also gets into the back of Verdanzi there. But I think that might have just been a byproduct of trying to outbreak Thrasher so that he couldn't make a resurgence move on her. Effortlessly outbreaks Debrisco, who sends it back on her and nearly takes her out through the bus stop chicane. More get the fuck out of here signals from the FT1 driver. Oh, Christ. Well, that was a bizarre interaction. Jake just boxed himself in despite being on the outside. Just move to the right, Fivehead. There's plenty of space over there. Umi was going there to cover both of you off, but he could have gone to her right. But instead he's like, oh, a car. I did not foresee this being on the race circuit. Taniguchi is leading in the outdated GT500 Nissan, and Eric Wojciechowski is making a bit of a train, including Nozomi, Barbara, and myself, and seem to also be including Nico. But I think the oval section's about to change that status quo in a moment. As Eric is slowly catching Hikari, Nozomi is slowly catching him. So we're gonna have a bit of a concertina effect here, I would estimate. But it's actually Nozomi who gets closer to Eric. Eric doesn't actually get all that much closer to Taniguchi, and Barbara is completely missing the turn, and here comes Nico to take full advantage of the moment. Gets ahead of me, and there's the Corvette for good measure. Ooh. Now the top three are under a blanket. Eric trying the outside of the GTR, he gets absolutely nothing accomplished. I can't tell if that was an attempted dive bomb or if that was an attempt to not rear end the guy due to a difference in braking point. I think it might have actually been the second choice. Goes right there with him now, and she's looking to get a little bit of a run on her teammate Nozomi and take third away. But The Mustang has more power than the FT1, so she's holding her off for now. Now let's make contact, actually, as they head towards the bus stop chicane. Nico just backs out. Probably waiting to see what happens up here and take advantage of whatever comes of the next set of turns, which was apparently not much. There's the much-needed run on Nozomi. Might turn into a pass on Eric, too, with any luck. We're going to be at a dead heat heading across the line, and Hikari's going to get involved as well. Eric once again forcing Nico below that yellow line, which would be against the rules in NASCAR, but it doesn't matter here. Nico passes Eric, gets to Hikari's inside into turn 1. Expert braking from the FT1, and she is in the lead. She's making quite a case for herself as the series champion here, as she continues this form into the rest of the episode. As once again we are now looking at a night race here for the last 2 laps of this event. And Hikari and Eric are still battling to try and take P2. Nozomi is still there, still relevant as well. And the rest of the field is coming. Or at least Barbara is on her way. I guess nobody else really is, but the Corvette driver really definitely is. I think that scares me, Thrash. Yeah, but apparently scares Nozomi, who's totally botched the bus stop, but cuts Barbara off at the exit, so she loses no positions. Didn't seem to lose a whole lot of time either. She's still right there on the back of the 458 and might still pass them anyway. You know, her run has stalled out now, so doesn't seem as though there'll be an overtake as we begin the final lap from Daytona. Nico's managed a moderate gap to Hikari now, under no immediate threat from him or from anybody else who, you know, might be nearby, probably because they're all still trying to pass Taniguchi, so they can't really put Nico under threat if they're not in second place. As in, there has the timer, or there the tire has expired. The what? The timer has expired. So this is confirmed to be the last lap. I think we already pretty much knew that, but now we know for sure. Nozomi's got a big run on Eric again. Can she convert this time? It's a definite maybe. They break at the exact same time though, so it looks as though Nozomi is not going to achieve anything. Because Barbara sees the moment. Doesn't seem like it. Now it's a train. Because Hikari is apparently the master of defensive driving. Defensive driving allowed him to qualify for this. And Nico is going to take another victory here in the Group 3 Championship. A second win in 4 races. She already had the points lead going into the race. So this will obviously just make that gap even bigger between her and second in points. Jarring brightness changes. The pre-replay screen reverts back to the time of day when the race started. Kotori being third in points really didn't have the day that she needed to remain competitive. I did passable for being second in points. Technically, me and Kotori were tied going in. But obviously, there's not much anybody can do when the points leader wins the race. So, does Nico's absolute reign of terror continue into round 5? Just was to fuck around and find out. Alright, so we are here ahead of the start of the 5th event in the championship. Le Mans / Delasard / whatever name you can come up with. I've heard a half a dozen, honestly. It only seems fitting we've had 2 tracks in Asian Pacific, we've had 2 tracks in the Americas, now we have 2 tracks in Europe. Starting with Le Mans. So, yeah, the European tour will hypothetically at least benefit the likes of Francesco Fedonzi, Eric. Apparently another typo from the leaderboards crew here, the timing and scoring crew. It's not Narbra Page, that's still Barbara. These guys are a joke. Joke. The lights have turned green and we are away. And starting grids don't like me today, so it is me who is the focus point of this race. Feels like it's been a while since I've said that. And Francesca is just gone. Already out to a pretty comfortable lead. We haven't even gotten anywhere near the back straight. Fidel is collapsing. Already having been passed by 2 other cars that started in the row behind him. Thrasher and Ivan. What the Kotori? Alrighty then, well that's a double overtake. And that was as clean as it gets. That was just detecting vulnerability, I guess, and Kotori says thank you very much. In theory, the Viper has the advantage in straight line speed, but that advantage can be nullified when everybody's at their top speed, such as the case when going down this incredibly long back straightaway. 178 miles an hour suddenly don't seem too impressive anymore. The Audi R8's keeping exactly even with me, so I'm gonna have to outbrake it. Hi Taniguchi, how are you? Zomi, where are we going here? You gotta give me a direction here. Bump draft. I don't think Nozomi is familiar with that technique. All your positions belong to me. It's a completely different commentary style when it's actually me that I'm focusing the camera on. So, I mean, the Viper's obviously still good down the back straightaway. I'm already up to 5th place. Could look at 4th here if I get a run on Kotori. Well, that's just fucking embarrassing for somebody who is competing for the championship. Running 2nd in points going into the start of the episode. Now running dead last in this race. And I think that pretty much just puts her dreams of this championship on ice. As Ivan Sodakov is now the leader. Francesca wants it back, but Thrasher is sort of getting in the way, and they're going to be literally bumper to bumper going towards Indianapolis. And I'm 4th place, some ways back, having just watched my teammate go to the beach. Do they even have good beaches in France? I don't exactly imagine France being a coastline type country. It's no Spain, I'll tell you that much. It's no Japan either. race has sort of become a little bit slow as we head on to lap 2 of the event. Everyone's kind of gotten single file. The long back straight has helped to get a lot of people into their appropriate order. Except for Dom DePrisco, who is trying to make passes into Ford chicanes and getting Jack. And Kotori is trying. But I don't think she's making much of a recovery from here. She's already on the back foot by pretty much having like the worst car for this track with how little horsepower it has. But then to go ahead and do that has only made things worse. She might have a chance against Siegfried, who has lost the lead pack. And by lead pack, I mean, like he is behind everybody that's not Kotori. Give me that speed, boy. Speedy speed, boy. I'll be honest, I don't even know how I got that thing stopped just there. It just kind of did. It just... the car somehow slowed down. Nozomi going ahead of Fidel. Fidel really doesn't have much top speed, apparently. Jake outdrags Eric. There's a clusterfuck behind them, or behind him. About to catch the lead 2 here. We'll probably have a shot at them towards Indianapolis and Arnage. Because I still have the top speed advantage over these 2 cars. The Ferrari especially. And especially the Ferrari, if I'm in her slipstream, which I am. No doubt in my mind I am. She goes to the inside. It doesn't necessarily matter to me. I'm doing like 12 miles an hour more than her. Not really, but you get the idea. Not quite to Ivan by Arnage. The Viper can understeer, so I don't really know if I trust making any passes before the end of this lap without just sliding off of the course. You see Thrasher way in the distance there? And then even Nico and Barbara way in the back. Yeah, there's that understeer I was just talking about. Nearly missed the first part of Porsche curves. Even without an attempting a pass, just simply because the car didn't want to bite in. Francesca caught me a bunch through there, so that just speaks to how pathetic my car was through there just now, and Thrasher didn't do much better, because now Nico and Barbara are on his tail. I have you now. I was like, ooh, fastest lap. Yeah, no shit, right? None of the other laps even counted for the AI cars. I don't know why, they don't. Superior exit machine. I am ahead, and then I'm not ahead. I don't remember the name of this corner. There's the better eggs out of there. Inside lane, and Ivan just gives up. I'm already a ways up the road from him. Now I just noticed that Ivan has fixed his stripe. That apparently is supposed to go on the roof too. As Nico is looking for another top 5 finish to add to her resume. Her worst finish so far is 4th. Her worst finish. This finish would be her worst finish if she didn't pass Thrasher or somebody else before the finish. How many times did I say finish just there? My word. As the the natural timer of the race has expired. Although it was pretty plainly obvious beforehand this was going to be the last lap. Nico's stretching those gears for everything they're worth. And she still isn't catching up to that Mustang because American horsepower go brr. Fedunzi has made a 4-car train heading up towards Arnage. Barbara, I thought, was going to run straight into Nico there. As I head up to the Ford chicanes for the 3rd and last time here at Le Mans. I'm not going to make it easy for Nico, clearly. I think I was still 2nd in points going into this race, and I'm going to get even closer to 1st in points with this W. Ivan will place in P2 despite starting 3rd or 4th. Fedunzi will go from the front row to 3rd place. And Fidel fell off. Fidel Fabian, what happened? And Kotori got last. So, despite being at least somebody with the potential to go after the championship, that is not going to be happening for her. Yeah, a quick rundown of points in a moment after I do them quickly. And I shall return at a moment's notice. And so that points update as we head into the final event of the season, not just of the championship. Final event of the episode, final event of the championship, final event of the season. Thank you, Koff, for ruining the drama of that moment. Nico Yazawa, unsurprisingly, with her average finish of 4th, I think. Actually, no. Her average finish is third, 18.2 points on average. So she has 91 points. I am in second place at 83, followed by Nozomi at 74, Jake at 70, Thrasher at 69, nice, Barbara at 64, Umi at 58, Kotori 57. Oh my god. Hikari at 54, Eric at 51, Dominic at 50, Kogasa at 46, Ivan 44, Francesca 41, Carly Watts 39, Nitori 37, Fidel 36, Kevin Bagstrom 34, Ryan Wolf 32, and Siegfried Brandt at a mere 19. So no ties anywhere in the point standings. So I guess let's head in. No, actually, just do basic hypotheticals here. Let's see here. If Nico manages 8th place or higher, she clinches the championship. Even if I won, I couldn't beat her. And Nozomi is the only other person with a mathematical chance to win the championship, but only if Nico finishes 17th or lower. Or 18th or lower, sorry. And if that happened, I would still have to finish 11th. Or no, lower than 11th. So Nozomi would need quite a bit of luck to win the championship. It's mathematically possible, but I just doubt it. And considering Nico's average finish is third, it's going to take a lot of luck even for me to take the title. But I guess it's time to blow the roof off this place and find out who will be the champion. And we are green for the final race of the season here in the Challenge Series. They put twin Mustangs on pole on the front row, which is much to the benefit of Nozomi, who's going to need every point she can possibly get if she wants to take the championship away. And, well, this may look like, oh, it's the Nürburgring GP circuit. Wrong. For the final race, we go to the most final circuit on the calendar. We settled on the Nordschleife, ladies and gentlemen. No time limit on this one, just a 2-lap race to decide whether Nozomi, myself, or Nico will be the champion. Just as a reminder, it is 8 points between Nico and myself, and there's another 9 points between myself and Nozomi. Well, right now, me and Nozomi are 7 places apart, so... And Nico and myself are 4 places apart. So, right now, Nico's the championship leader. And Kogasa is making quick work of the field. She's already up to 6th place with that maybe slightly physical position take, but... Yeah, well, now we, now we begin the, I guess, ascent? I don't know, is it an ascent or is it a descent? I think it's an ascent. Well, it's kind of both. We begin, I guess, our journey down through the Nordschleife for the first of 2 rounds here. Some drivers will have naturally have more experience on this track than others. Somebody like Siegfried Brandt, you know, who lives in Germany and has probably used this track to test God knows how many cars, he's going to be a cinch here. Unfortunately, he's pretty well held back by the fact that he's got the worst car in the field. But he still might be able to make something out of this, just based on that alone. Ivan had traveled to Germany a couple of times for races. He's probably done a lap or 2 on the tourist layout. The likes of me and Jake know it from league racing, as does Fabian. That's a nice error there, guys. Another timing and scoring crew errors. They're showing Kevin Bagstrom as American when he's Swedish. But then for some, it's going to be an absolute death sentence. I don't really know if, say, our Mercury Racing girls even know what the Nordschleife is. They probably just thought it was like some sort of weird, like, abandoned trail north of the circuit that they do know, the GP layout. At the same time, I mean, I think you probably would have to know what the Nordschleife is if you do any amount of sports driving. But there's a difference between knowing the Nordschleife and knowing the Nordschleife. You know, you can know a track, you can hear of a track. I've heard of the Isle of Man circuit. I don't know the first thing about how to drive it, but I've heard of it. I'm sure the likes of Nozomi and Nico have heard of this track, because Kotori is giving Carly Watts absolutely no space. They probably heard of this track. They might have heard me mention it offhand once, who knows. But they don't know the layout. And that's the more important thing to know. Knowing is literally half the battle when it comes to this track. If you know what you're... Oh, okay, Koga. So yeah, Kogas is the focus of this race. And then too busy ranting about the circuit and not really paying any attention, or not really paying a whole lot of attention to the race. Nozomi is defending like a maniac, trying to hold on to any and all championship positions she can get. I have fallen down the order a little bit, but even still, I'm still ahead of her in points. And Nico is only running 15th, but that's all she has to do it now. Right now. The only point she'd ever have to worry is if I find myself at P7. If that happens and she hasn't passed anybody, then we're tied. So, and even were that the case, she's won 2 races to my 1, so she would win the race off of the tiebreaker. Or not win the race, but she'd win the championship off of the tiebreaker. As the pitiful top speed of the Supra is just creating a train behind Fidel Fabian. What the Sodakov doing? Who the heck was that? Brent took those 2 kinks like he was on a fucking mission. Now it's Brandt that's leading the train. Kind of. Sodakov is just right there on his behind, and Barbara's not far off either. So, a person that's traveled to Germany more than once is in a sandwich between 2 people actually from Germany. Let me sprint out a tiny bit now. Nico's gained a place, I believe it was on Dipursko. Dasher also knows the Nordschleife just out of exposure from video games like this one. He's been running on this track since the Gran Turismo 4 days, so 17 or so years ago. He probably knows the layout well enough. Is it any substitute for experience? Not necessarily. But knowing where all the corners are, and roughly how they're taken, is indispensable intel for a track like this. Kogas is driving like she knows the place. I'm not aware of how she would know the place. She's never been here before, but... nor anybody on Riptide except for maybe Nidori would kind of know from the original run of the Challenge Series, where we use this track a little more often than we do here. I guess that would be her exposure. And now, front stretch time. Yeah, there's a reason why we didn't put a 10-minute time limit on there, because it would be a 2-lap race anyway. Because we're going to be nearing the 9-minute mark when we get to the start-finish line to begin the second lap. So this kind of felt irrelevant to me to even have the timer there if it was going to expire before we even reached the Nordschleife the second time around. So just do the 2 laps, just forget the timer was ever even a thing. This Thrasher is going to go ahead and looks like he's going to lead us out of the Nordschleife to complete lap 1. Well, that was fun. Let's do it again. And this Cogassa stalking in the distance. The camera pans out and the Jag is barely in shot. Also, Brandt is moving up the field. What the hell is going on here? What the heck line was that, Barbara? Oh, it only gets worse. Ah! I was distracted by what she was doing, and I didn't know what I was doing anymore. But yeah, Brandt's moved up places throughout the race. Wouldn't surprise me if he was just a Nordschleife ringer. Being from Germany and being somebody who works for a company that would have to do a lot of testing here. Or worked. He used to work for Roof. Before getting fired and going freelance. And then gaining a massive penchant and affinity for HKS everywhere. Yeah? We're just gonna pretend that we didn't see that, I suppose. Just turn into a time loop again. Asher's, I think, getting comfortable again. He's starting to make a little bit of a gap ahead of Jake. Not much. This is actually kind of interesting because if this finished this way, these two would tie in point. They would both finish at 89. Holy shit, Cogassa just went through there at maximum velocity. Now it's a battle. Cogassa has arrived. She has caught the lead 2 cars. As we head into the real thick of the Nordschleife. She just embarrasses Jake on that corner exit. Holy shit. Did dude forget which one was the gas? Jake's fucking insane down that hill. Hi, Rebel Tree. Oh, Thrasher's feeling it. He's feeling the pressure. He got a tire in the grass. He's surprised he didn't spin there. Cogassa gets to the inside, but that is not enough. Thrasher is signaling. Oh my word! Through miss, Kogase emerges the leader. Can she hang on through what I actually call the hardest corners on the track? Barely. Almost looked like Jake wanted to take advantage for a sec there, but he could not. Looking further back, it's single file. I don't think I'd expect anything else. Nico's up another place, as if that's not really mostly a formality at this point, considering the fact that I'm not that many places ahead of her, and Nozomi isn't either. She's only in 5th. Even if Nozomi and I changed points tallies, so that even Nozomi herself were only 8 points behind, this still wouldn't be enough for her to win the championship. She'd just tie. And, as previously mentioned, Nico wins on a tiebreaker with 2 victories. Nozomi doesn't even have 1. Nico might look for more here, actually. Oh, you fucking maniac. I don't know how they don't just fucking crash right there. I tensed up and I'm just watching the fucking replay. Despite Kogasa's overtake, Thrasher's still hanging with her for the most part. Staying at least close enough so that a good exit out of that long right-hander could put him in slipstream range to take the victory away. That's, I think, the main thing that's gotta be on Thrasher's mind. You don't have to pass her yet. You just have to be close enough to later. Jake could be sitting in the same boat, however, it would be a little more difficult for him to pass 2 cars at once with slipstream because, well, one of them is also going to be getting it besides him. Damn, no YouTube camera angle? I mean, they literally call it YouTube Corner, man. I don't make the rules. Jump! Oh, that's a huge curb hop. Oh my word, jump! Ow. And that's a critical mistake. She manages to rejoin the circuit ahead of the other 2. So not all is lost. She just needs to hope that she hasn't done so much damage to the car that it affects her straight line speed too much. And Thrasher just preys upon her vehicle's corpse. Oh, Thrasher got such a huge run out of that turn too. This is it, folks. This is the final big straightaway of the challenge series for the season. I don't know why that. This isn't the season. This is not the series finale. Thrasher has that slipstream. Kogasa is actually moving over so he does not have that slipstream. Thrasher, for some reason, is not following the back end of the straightaway. He doesn't even load in right now, as you just see everybody filing through there. God damn, gang! I want to get this goddamn shot, but the game is like, where are we, huh? Fucking wake up! There we go, there's the money shot right there. out of the Nordschleife for the last time. 17 minutes later, Kogasa Tatara is going to grab the victory at the inaugural Nordschleife event here in the Challenge Series. Not to be overshadowed by that, as she and the train of vehicles make their way out of the Nordschleife. Nico Yazawa is the Challenge Series champion here in the Season 1. As this result would put her at 99 points out of a possible 120. This is her only finish outside of the top 5, and yeah, was 13th, but she did so well in the other races that she almost didn't even need this race because I didn't do that great, neither did Nozomi. I mean, Nozomi did good, she still brought home 5th place, but like, it's not enough. She did need the last race because I did score 12 points, which would have given me the win by 5 points over her otherwise. Anyway, one last rundown of the championship standings to finish off this season. As aforementioned, Nico Yazawa is your champion, followed by myself at 95 points to her 99. Nozomi, 3rd place at 90 points. Thrasher, 4th place at 88 points. Jake Scarborough, 5th at 78. Barbara, 6th at 77. Kogasa, with that win, jumps to 7th in points at 66. Kotori with 65 and 8th. 9th, Mikari at 64. Umi, 10th at 60. Ivan, 11th with 58. Dom, 12th with 56th. Tied, actually, with Carly Watts. Eric Wachowski, 14th at 55. Fidanzi, 15th at 45. The exterior tied. Fidel Fabian and Kevin Bagstrom tied 16th at 43 points. Hickory, 18th with 38. Ryan Wolf, 19th at 37. And Siegfried Brandt, last in points at mere 34. And 15 of those points came in this very race as he managed P6. In a car that probably shouldn't have run top 10 at all. I guess different strokes for different folks. If he manages to somehow make that thing work, more power to him. I'd get in that thing and I'd probably have a stroke because that thing is just... I mean, I've driven older cars. I drive a Pontiac GTO from 1969, but like, that's also not nearly as fast. The Super Silhouette has way more downforce and way less suspension. Tablet proceeds to be dysfunctional. There we go. So, that is the championship. That is the season. That is the episode. That is it. From the Nordschleife, from the crew of all 2 admins. We're going to look at fixing that during the off-season. This is the end.